Hi everyone, welcome to part 3 where we're going to do seaming and patching. So I'm going to use tweezers, a scalpel, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scrape away that excess silicone. I prefer to have more depth than a little mountain, if that makes sense. Just because then when we do the patching, the silicone can really sit inside of it. I feel when there's like a little mountain, then it's a bit harder to get the silicone on there. So I'm really pulling away all that excess and just exposing some air bubbles. Once you've done that, I'm going to give it a good wash with some fairy liquid and water. Just really scrub it in there just to get rid of the Vaseline and the release agent that I used. And also because I've been touching it, there's fluff on there. Just want to get it nice and clean. You can use white spirit if you want to have it like properly clean. So that's an option as well. And then I'm going to make my batch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same silicone that I used for the actual piece. So I did 1 part A, 1 part B, and 0.5 parts of Dethner. Then I'm going to mix that together, put my silicone pigment in there. So I kept a little bit of the actual casting that I did, so it matches. And then I'm going to put in Thixotropic, so it's like a thickening agent to thicken up the silicone because I don't want to have it runny at all. I want to have it nice and thick so I can really brush it on like you can see here. So just with a simple synthetic brush, I'm just brushing that in to get it nice and smooth, and then I'm using like a sculpting tool to recreate the folds again. We just keep going around, and you can see here, little zoom in, and we just keep going around, brushing that in, blending it out. Sometimes I spray a little bit of alcohol on my brush just to smooth the silicone a little bit more so I don't have any brush marks on there. But it's really a case of just really brushing it on, getting it in as smooth as possible, and then again just going in with my sculpting tool to recreate those folds again because I don't want them to like fill up with silicone too much. Now you can see it from different angles as well. Of course we know it's there, and you can see it more because the mixture that I've used is very shiny now, but that will be covered anyway once we do the painting. But yeah, hopefully that explained it a little bit. Hope you like it, and stay tuned for part 4 where I'm going to do the painting of the brains. See you later. Bye.